Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a demonstration and review of a couple of select products I picked up from the Sephora VIP sale. That's long done. It's long past. These are also not brand new products. I was just curious when I was in store. Wanted to pick them up. I'm today trying out the Sephora Airbrush Perfection Mist Airbrush Foundation. I have the shade Fair. So I'm going to be trying this out with you. And then I have the Danessa Myricks. I believe these are like the Yummy Skin Blurring Blushes. I'm going to be trying the shade Bellini and Rosé in Brunch. So we'll be trying out 3 products today, and that is it. I thought a bite-sized video would be a little bit more digestible for you all. Here are the boxes of these Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flushed. That is the full name of these. Those are the shades there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up swatches of all of these products, and I will be right back.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see, cause everybody wanna tell you bad things.
Great, hopefully you found those swatches helpful. Just an FYI, I'm sure this looked very funny. When you do a spray foundation, the swatches generally are a little bit difficult to navigate because of the texture, the formulation. It's very runny and actually gets a little bit bubbly because of the air in here. So you'll notice though it was very neutral. This is the fairest shade, a little bit yellow. You'll see what it looks like on my skin. You can tell me whether or not you think it works, even though it's not really as cool toned as it probably should be. But there wasn't a lot of options for this formulation. And then with the swatches with the cheek and blush cream products, they're very concentrated. I did not blend or try to blur them out. I just wanted you to get a sense of the color. When you apply these to the cheeks, they're gonna be more of a wash and not as like bold. But it all depends how you apply. All right, so let's get into the details. How much of product is in here? This is 75 mils, 2.5 fluid ounces, 53 grams net weight, 1.8 ounces net weight, I'm assuming. So you have to remember there's product and air in here, so you're getting more than an ounce of product. You can see, it's a pretty tall can. And then this is $20 full price, so not a bad price for a foundation. This does spray very cold. If you're gonna spray it directly to the skin, if you've ever had a mole removed, it feels similar to that. Now you're not gonna be spraying that long, so it's not really gonna be that painful, but if you're pretty sensitive, you don't want any surprises like that, it's kind of uncomfortable, to be honest, a little bit of a sting, but not a big deal. Just depends on who you are. If that's gonna bother you every day. If you're like, oh, this is my only foundation, I'm gonna use it all the time, you may not like that sensation every single day. But we will try this out, and I will say this is not a first impressions video. I've tried these products several times now. I haven't tried this applying it with different tools. I've been using it on a sponge exclusively, but I'm going to try a couple of different things on one side of my face. Okay, so and then with these blushes here, there is 6 grams of product, 0.21 ounces. These are $25 each, full price, and these are for lip and face and lip. So you can put them anywhere on the face and on the lips. They're safe for both. To me, it looks like you get quite a bit of product in here. And remember, you're not just going to use them on the cheeks. You're probably going to find a shade that works for the lips, like this one as well. Just depends if you like the texture for both areas. I know a lot of people, they like it either on the cheeks more than on the lips. It's hard to please both areas because they're very kind of have different needs. So let's get into foundation first. I have skincare and sunscreen on. It's been on several hours today. I'm not going to put on any primer. I'll show you what this does, although I have used primer with this in the past. I'm going to go ahead and spray this on the palette and show you what it does when you spray it. So you're going to give it a good shake. Here we go. See that? It starts to bubble and you'll see it moving. Okay, I want to put more. It's like you're spray painting. Now, if you do it in one area and really hold it down, concentrate, you're going to get that bubbling. It doesn't affect anything. It's just air. So that is on the palette. I'll show you what it's like just spraying it on the face. I don't recommend that. But I'm going to try to use this with a sponge. It does, I will say, using a sponge, you have to use way more product because this is pretty thin. It's not like a liquid or a cream. So you're going to have to spray a couple times to get all over the face. So you're going to use more product with this airbrush foundation. I'm just going to tell you that. It's just a thinner layer. That's why people like it though. Okay, so I have it on the palette, ready to go. Let me show you a spot on the face, what this is like. See that? Kind of crazy, right? Very concentrated. Now, just for demonstration, I'm gonna move it around because you really wouldn't just spray and go and not touch your face. You're still gonna do some blending. So whether or not you do that with a brush or your fingers or a sponge to blend it out, that's totally fine. I just don't see the benefits of spraying it directly on the face to get that finish, just because it's not an airbrush actual applicator like you would with a professional makeup artist that uses airbrush. They use a very particular tool to go on the face. This is not that. So here we go again. It actually doesn't smell great either. The Dior version had a much better smell. But this is what it looks like. It blends out pretty well with the fingers, actually surprisingly well. You can see though, it's not like a whole lot of coverage. It's very like a thin layer, very thin liquidy layer. So that's why I recommend really not spraying on the face. Just do your normal technique of either on the palette, in the back of the hand, and then apply it how you normally would. You just may need more layers, more product, just because it's a thin version of what you're used to. That, I mean, you guys can see the difference. It does even out the skin tone pretty well, and I think this color actually works once it's on the skin. Even though it's not as cool tone as I like, close enough. All right, so I'm going to use my sponge now and do the rest of the face. So this, as I said, this technique, the sponge eats up this product. So you're gonna need to use more product than you normally would. You're just gonna need to spray more. Yeah, a big old red pimple here. That needs a little bit more coverage as well. So I'm gonna spray again. You guys can see the dust. It's not really dust. But if you are getting ready in your outfit that you're gonna wear, be really careful. Put a robe on top or a cape or something to protect your clothes, because especially if you're wearing white or something light, I would not want to get the overspray on my clothing. What I'm wearing right now is just a crappy t-shirt, so I don't really mind, but some of you just want to be aware that it goes everywhere. Put another layer of product on. I still have some on the palette here. What do you guys think? I'm slightly yellower, more neutral than I want to be, but I'm gonna put product on top of this. My face, I think once you put all your rest of your makeup on, it's not the end of the world. I think they do need to expand their shade range, but I'm not sure how well this one is doing, how long it will last, and what the deal is with this foundation, if people actually like it or use it. It's not one for everyone, just because I showed you sort of how application isn't quite as straightforward as a normal foundation. But there we are. I will give you my review thoughts on it at the end once I've applied my blush. But here is what it looks like. Great, moving on to these blushes. I'm going to do both colors, one on each side. And I'll probably do this one on the lips just because this is not a typical shade for me for the lips. Bellini. Let's start with Bellini first. I generally use my finger and just go in. Now that is really bold. I take a clean finger and blur it out. Even though peach is not my favorite blush shade, and this one is a very much a bold peach, I really like this formula because I feel like it's not too creamy. I like that it turns to a powder. I think it makes it so much easier to apply. There's some cream blushes where it just stays tacky forever and it just doesn't quite work. You feel like you have to put a powder blush on top of it, because once you set the face, it kind of disappears. But these guys, I think, do an excellent job of staying bold and blending easily. Now, I think you do kind of have to work somewhat quickly, especially if you have dry skin. It kind of just wants to soak up that pigment. But look at these beautiful colors. Now, they started off really bold, right? But once you blend them in, what do you think? What side do you prefer? I've been kind of liking the Bellini for summer, spring. Just a different sort of warm, fun vibe. This is more my traditional color. Very pretty, not super exciting. This is a little more exciting for me. What do you think? So when I've been applying makeup, when I've been using these, I admit, I've actually been applying a little bit more than what I'm showing you. So let me do a little bit more, because they generally actually stand out even more than this. So they're more like this, like they're very bold blushes. And if you're into a primarily a blush look, these will absolutely get you there. So this is a very wide area for blush. Most people more targeted. Maybe you'll take the blush all the way up to the forehead. I know some of you guys are into that, but here we are. What do you think? So what I like about these is their blendability with the fingers is flawless. I don't have any issues with using my fingers. If you want to be like very precise and more even, you can definitely use a brush to blend them out just fine. I have done that. My preference, easy breezy, fingers just gotta work a little bit quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and put on this color, the Rosé and Brunch, on my lips. Now, because of this dries to really a powder finish, I really didn't think to try this on the lips yet, because I like a little bit more of a moist lip. And I just can't see myself carrying this around, reapplying on the lips with this. But if you like to reapply your blush during the day, you don't want it to fade at all, then if you already have this in your bag, double duty. I'm not sure I like this color on the lips. It's very young and fresh though, and very light and springy. It's kind of nice. I don't hate it. I'm not sure that I absolutely love it. Certainly a different color for me. All right, let's get into my final thoughts. All right, foundation. I surprisingly like this foundation. I think it lays down really smooth, especially around my problem areas like the side of my nose and bigger pore areas. It lays down so smooth and quick, and I barely have to like mess with it or like do another extra layer over here. It just really seems to be flattering in a weird way. I don't know what it is with the airbrush formulas, but they've also always have made, especially with the Dior Air Flash, they really do give an airbrush like really smooth finish. And I don't know if it's because there's alcohol in or something in here, but it's pretty awesome. And this formula, not my favorite color, it does something similar to the Dior Flash, and it just really, without a lot of effort, makes the skin look really good. So for the money, I think this is a really great product. Could it be better? Absolutely. I think the smell is pretty terrible. I think the shade range is obviously could be improved. I think it actually comes out a little bit too cold. I don't remember the Air Flash feeling that cold pain on the skin. So that to me should be improved if it can. You know, it's not an absolutely, like I see a little bit of pigment in the pores right here on this side where it could, you know, settle in a little bit smoother than it is. But you have to remember I didn't use any primer, and I have not really refreshed my skin with more skincare. So that could help. This side looks a little bit better. So perhaps with the blush being blended out, it got a little caked up there. But overall, I like the way it looks on my skin. I think a lot of you would be pretty impressed by the formula. Now remember, this side I blended in with the fingers, so maybe it made a smoother result than the sponge. And also the sponge can tend to remove a lot of pigment and product, so that might be an issue. So maybe the finger blend was the way to go. Now I have used this several times and it's worn well enough throughout the day. You have to keep in mind this is a pretty thin layer, so if you're looking for full coverage all day lasting, I wouldn't say this is that. I think you're gonna get some good solid hours out of it. I would still set the face. If you get oily, absolutely. And I think I was able to use the cream products on top of it fairly easily without really getting too much of the foundation disturbed. But I, suggest next time you're in Sephora, try out the shades, try it in store, see what you think. Now, when you spray it out, it's gonna look really funky. It's only $20 though, and if you can ever get 30% off during one of the sales again, it's worth a try, to be honest. And you might leave this for like special occasions or whatnot, but I got a really smooth finish really quickly around the nose, and I cannot complain about that. So this is definitely a positive choice in my book. And I'm surprised because it's, for Sephora, very affordable. Now, these blushes, I personally find that they last very well, but I know some other people, there's so many options with cream blushes these days. People don't think these are worth $25 because they don't last as long. Now, I don't have those issues with lasting, but I did kind of layer up a bit. I'm an over product user. Like I use a lot of products. So that could also be why I still see color at the end of the day. But I think in general, like cheek products, it just depends on you and your skin and how your face handles makeup. I know for me, a lot of products on my cheeks, whether it's highlight, bronzer, whatever, my face just eats product. Like it's not uncommon for me to not see any blush on my face at the end of the day. It's how it goes. This guy felt like it did last a long time, but other people feel like there's other blushes that last longer. For me, what I like about these products is they don't stay dewy and they're easy to blend. I do not like cream blushes that stay tacky. They generally make everything I put on top, like it just gets a little bit patchy if they don't settle down. So I like that these set down to a nice finish. And I like the color, even this strange little color for me. I've been enjoying them. So for the lips, I don't think these shades are really work for both areas for me. You'll have to let me know what you think. Do you guys use these products on your lips? Let me know. I can't really see that for some reason. It just seems odd to me, but maybe I need to give these a little bit of a chance. But would I recommend these? I would definitely recommend this if you can get a shade that's close to your face. And I would probably go to the store, swatch these, try them out, blend them out on your wrist, see if you like the texture, see if you like the shades. You can ask someone there for help, like which shade do you think will work for me? If you're like, well, I really like this color, but I don't know that it's right for my face, it's too dark, get some help when you're in the store. Otherwise, between these two, we're going into spring and summer. I really like Bellini. I think it's worth trying out. Even if you have fair skin like me, I think it's a nice choice. This one, while it's probably goes with more looks, I think it's a little bit safe. So if I had to pick one or the other, I'll probably get more use out of this, but this is definitely more fun. So go with the more fun one. I mean, it's not every day that a company comes out with a color like this. So that's my suggestion. Let me know if you guys want me to try anything else from Danessa Myricks. I do have the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder, the complexion product, which I do not use a lot because it is quite different. I will say that. It does sort of do the same thing as the blushes. It starts as a cream and ends up as a powdery finish. I find that blending this out and making my skin look smooth, that's a challenge. So if you want me to try it out again, let me know. All right, guys, that is it for this video. let me know if you have any questions below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.